get into the horse products now. Equine Right, how do you use it, and what have you seen with it?
So we recommend Equine Right to the clients that we have that have rodeo horses or performance horses. Some of those are junior rodeos, some of them are adult rodeos, some of them are barrel racers, some of them are team ropers, calf ropers. We have a little bit of everything, and that we recommend that product to those horses, especially that are getting hauled a lot, just because it seems to take the edge off, the nervousness about the traveling. It keeps their stomachs settled, it keeps them on feed, it keeps them on water. We just use it as a preventative in those horses that are hauled a lot.
And a favorite story about Equine Right?
It's just been favorable across the board.
Yeah.
We've not used it in a single case where the people came back and said that just didn't do anything. Everybody that uses the product is reasonably happy that he stayed on feed, he stayed on water. She wasn't as nervous as she usually is in the box, or whatever it is. That everybody has just been very happy with the product as sort of a preventative care from traveling anxiety.
HHS, or herpes strangles product.
So we have a few barns that have race horses that run in Texas and New Mexico and Oklahoma. Those barns, those horses come and go a lot. They're in training at the tracks. They're going from track to track. And historically, we always had a lot of problems with those horses, getting sick, coming home sick, getting the rest of the barn sick. And when we were introduced to this product and we started using it, that just stopped. And so we joke that we shouldn't use the product because it cost us a lot of money because we were treating a lot of sick horses. But that's just a joke. It's a great thing, and it just eliminated the illness in those horses. We would treat somewhere between 1 and 20 at a time, and we don't treat 2 a year anymore. So it's an excellent product in those horses that are at a higher level of risk for exposure to herpes, exposure to strangles, and it's just been an excellent product in our hands.
Got any particular favorite story with that product? In general?
Yeah, that one just tells for itself.
Yeah.
It's just such a remarkable difference in the product, or in the condition of the horses, and the consistency that they got sick, and then the next horse in the barn would get sick, and then it was 3 horses were sick, and then 5 horses were sick. And today it just doesn't happen. We just don't have the illness in the horses anymore.
EPM, or possum disease product.
So we use the EPM product. We see more and more EPM, probably because we're looking for it more than it's just not been here before. EPM is fairly common here in this practice area. It affects performance horses and ranch horses and backyard pets equally badly across the board. We use the EPM product every time we treat one. We put them on the EPM product and we put them on an antiprotozoal product in conjunction each other. I do not like the antiprotozoal by itself, but when we use the EPM product with the antiprotozoal, it's a remarkable treatment. It doesn't treat every horse, but we have a very, very high success rate, and we did not have that before we started using this product.
And with treating them, do you have to ever retreat them, or is it curing them?
So I think it's at least reducing the population of the bug enough that the damage is mitigated, and we don't seem to have to come back and retreat these horses ever. Or at least we haven't had to do one yet. We've had real good success with putting them on one course of therapy, through the antiprotozoal and the EPM together, and it's just been very good in the one run.
Any particular story
So
stands out?
So one of the first horses that we used it in was a ranch horse that he was coming along real good. He was a young horse. He was coming along real good, and then he just kind of got off, and it was a real difficult horse to diagnose because he wasn't very consistent. He would be off a little bit, then he would be off a lot, then he would be off a little bit. And you'd look at him one day and think seemed like he was lame in the left front, and then you might look at him 30 minutes later and it looked more like the right rear. So he sent off, and it just continued that way it got to the point where you could take him by the tail and just pull him all the way to the ground. He had very little strength to stop you from pulling him down. So we treated that horse with the antiprotozoal and the EPM product together in conjunction, and that horse made a full recovery. He went back to ranch work full time and has made a really good horse for the ranchers. We kind of laugh. He kept one little funny quirk where he rolls his tongue, and he didn't do that before. So we're blaming that on the damage caused by the protozoal. But for where he was to where he is today, rolling his tongue funny is a totally acceptable part.
All right, and then last product that you've used and have experience with is skincare.
So we use the skincare. We use that a lot for cuts. We use it for skin sloughs. I like it on everything except suture lines. I don't like to use it on a wound that I've sutured shut. But for wounds that can't be sutured, they're too big, it's too spread out, a burn or a skin slough. So we've used it on skin sloughs from snake bites. It has been an excellent product. Speeds the healing, works really well. Been very, very happy with it.
Why don't you like it on the suture wounds?
There's something about it. It does something to the edge of the wound that keeps the edges from healing. And the wound is very healthy, but the sutures won't stick, and so it just doesn't do well on a sutured wound. But anything that can't be sutured, too old to be sutured, in a bad location to be sutured, too big to be sutured, too much trauma to the skin to hold the sutures, we use it, and we've had very good luck with it. We've used that on horses, we've used it on cattle, we've used it on dogs, and we've been very, very happy with the product in those situations.
Any particular story with this?
So we had a dog that was bitten by a rattlesnake at the hock on the rear leg. We treated the dog for the rattlesnake bite. Dog did fine. Everything was good. Had a pretty expansive lesion. Actually sloughed the skin surrounding the whole hock. There was about a ½ inch of skin that ran down the very most front of the limb, and that was all the skin that was left, and the rest of it was just completely wide open. And obviously nothing that could be sutured, nothing that could be closed, maybe skin grafts, but we made the decision that we would try the skin care on it, and that thing healed beautifully. That's been several years ago. Dog travels back and forth. He doesn't live in Vernon, but he travels back and forth pretty regularly to the ranch. And we saw him the other day, and has a little bit of scar, but it's not anything like it could have been. He did really, really well, and that's probably my favorite story of the skin care in a big heated wound.
Okay, and then you would recommend it to anyone that has cattle, horses, these products you've used?
I do, yeah. We recommend them. We use them a lot in the clinic. We send them out with people all the time. I don't think you can go wrong with any of these. I'm sure there's cases where anything's not going to work and something would work better and this would do better than that, but for just across the board, these are excellent products, and we recommend them literally every single day. So we are firm believers in the products.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.